before we get to the video, I just want to say thank you for the absolutely massive reception to the Hydroid video that I posted. Over 50,000 in one day is just insane. Thank you all so much. With that being said, there's some more we can do for good old HyGoat, so let's get into it. Near the end of my previous video, I mentioned a couple helmet options that I didn't have much time to perfect for that video, but have done for today. I won't be explaining the individual ability mechanics, as you can refer to my previous video for that. Nourish, as usual, sees some great use for Hydroid for a multitude of reasons. One of his biggest issues is his inability to have any dump stats, requiring positive values for pretty much everything, yet really needing strength. Nourish solves this with its energy multiplier, allowing us to use Blind Rage, which when paired with a few other strength mods, turns Plunder's base 750 armor into 2130 with no stacks of any kind, becoming 3180 when maxed out. That is a shit ton of armor, and if paired with Adaptation and Arcane Blessing, we become practically immortal on Steel Path. Outside of the survivability department, this build converts him into such a powerful DPS platform that it rivals the likes of Saren and Barrage, even outdoing them. Plunder gives our weapons free corrosive damage at insanely high percentages. Hydroid's passive causes any corrosive procs applied to enemies he has damaged to be able to full strip enemies at 10 stacks, meaning that our weapon of choice for this build, the Torid, has a self-contained armor strip for just firing it. Nourish provides free viral damage at another insanely high value, absolving us from needing to build that element on Torid too, leaving us free to build either fully in on damage or throw another element in the mix, gas, which is especially easy here due to Torid's innate toxin. Now we take a broken gun even deeper into the depths of insanity. The damage buffs don't stop there though. Combat Discipline in the aura slot allows us to self-proc Nourish's AoE viral wave. That does come with the negative of being able to kill ourselves if we weren't running Arcane Blessing for an additional 1200 health, and Plunder's Augment, Rousing Plunder, which causes Hydroid to heal himself and allies on cast. That last point is what allows us to use Archon Intensify, triggered off healing through abilities, granting a total 60% strength. 175 ranges both for Tempest and Nourish's AoEs, making them quite good at mass priming, and prime continuity raises our durations all above 30 seconds. I do recommend Zenereg for your focus school to combine with Nourish for good energy management, as there is nothing besides these two that we can fit into the build. I do have a Tau Blue Shard in him for 75 more base energy and 1 Amber for casting, which I plan to increase to 2 as he sorely appreciates it. Nourish Hydroid is arguably the best weapons platform in the game right now, purely due to the corrosive armor strip. Definitely get on that one. Our next build turns Hydroid into an ability DPS monster, yet only against Grineer. Breach Surge is a universally loved helmet, providing crowd control that works on Eximus, a damage multiplication system, and more. For Hydroid, we can make use of Tempest Barrage and its augment Viral Tempest to both armor strip and viable prime enemies, with Breach Surge will then multiply through its surge sparks and create an infinite loop until they're all dead. This works very well against Grineer, but struggles against Corpus due to the shields and infested die to anything. Because stacking multiple barrages on top of one another is the optimal gameplay rotation, really you just see a group of enemies, spam barrage a few times, and cast Breach Surge. Nothing more to it than that, but it does work. For ease of use, we are health tanking again with the same adaptation and arcane blessing setup, as shield gating is really difficult on Hydroid with any amount of efficiency that this build needs alongside Zenereg. Do make sure to include the Viral Tempest augment for the free priming, which at 199 strength is practically 2 viral procs per impact. Since it is a quite heavy casting setup requiring between 2 to 4 casts per group of enemies, only 130 efficiency was not enough, so I threw Equilibrium in to balance things out. The loss of Augur Reach is only a 5 meter drop in Surge relative to 175 range is 30 meters, and Tempest functions oddly, with more range increasing the explosion sizes and not the area that it covers. That's kind of annoying. Regardless, this is a fun build that nukes low levels well, and for Steel Path, turns him into a great DPS frame against Grineer, and Infested if you really want to get technical. If looking for a really cool setup that makes use of a lot of different damage strategies combined into one monstrous melee DPS machine, Wrathful Advance is for you. Wrathful grants flat crit chance to any melee weapon, with your strength being equal to the amount granted while subsumed, rather than Kalervo's 2% CC per 1 power strength. This makes 300% necessary to hit red crits if your weapon has 0% crit chance, which doesn't happen, though in our case it's actually quite close. Let me explain a few other mechanics of this build before rounding back to that though. Tidal Surge is a great grouping ability for any melee weapon and has the added benefit of now armor stripping enemies partially, giving about 4 to 6 corrosive procs on average. We could grab the rest of our armor strip from Tempest Barrage, but that would require us to cast at the end of every surge and wait, which we don't want to do. The rest of our armor strip can come from two things, either a melee weapon with high enough status chance to cap off our remaining corrosive procs, or a dagger paired with Amalgam Argonac Metal Auger and Gas and Electric. Actually, why not both? This specific Balla Zaw rests at a very low critical chance, but very high status chance. The former is not a big deal, as Wrathful Advance applies a flat 295% CC to our melee, becoming just over 300% with its base 10%, and the very high status chance means with Weeping Wounds and 360/60 mods for Gas and Electric, we hit over 200% status chance. Now when grouping enemies, we initially strip on the group and then can finish the rest with either the armor stripping from our 2 statuses or the insane amount of corrosive that Plunder applies on high strength builds. If you thought we were done though, yeah, we're not. Another function of Zaws is their ability to hold Exodia Arcanes, in this case Exodia Force. Force grants a 50% chance on status effect to cause a 6-meter explosion from your Warframe, dealing 200% damage. Because our status chance is over 200%, see this as a 100% chance to proc on every swing. This is a form of quadratically scaling damage, as striking multiple enemies at once can compound the force procs on top of one another. For Hydroid himself, it is yet another health tank build due to ease of use on him, with the major differences being the dropping of Arcane Blessing in favor of Molt Augmented, so we can achieve 295 strength and running Umbral Vitality for a health pool to tank with. Besides that, the rest of our stats are what you're used to: 128 duration, 130 efficiency, and 175 range. This is definitely a strong build that melee players could take amazing advantage of, and probably my favorite one just for how much is actually going on. That does it for these Hydroid builds, everyone. If you know any other strong combinations, please let me know in the comments. I'm really enjoying this rework. He is just so good now. Not S tier, but definitely an A+ tier Warframe. Thank you so much for watching. Your support really means it all to me. Thank you. I will be live streaming tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern for Quest to Conquer Cancer, a sponsored stream by Digital Extremes. Please consider stopping by, and if you can, donating to my drive, link in the comments down below. It goes towards a great cause. Seriously, fuck cancer. And you guys in turn get to see me suffer if we hit some milestones, like making me delete one of my frames or 100 Forma another one. Yeah. Anyways, many more of those thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon and YouTube. If you would like to go check them out, links are in the description, where you'll find you get my videos a whole day early before everyone else, and your name up on screen with these cool people. Thank you to Wally, Lyric, Scotty Nose, Sage, Intellectual, 3000, Airdis, and everyone else on screen, of course. I hope this video was informative and helpful, and I will see all of you guys very soon. Peace!